Well, I'm really happy to be here, and especially because I brought some things that we are researching in Brazil, especially about economy and what we call re-economy. And I will show you a little bit what's that. Okay. Well, the first thing I'm not going to explain for you because I'm sure you are very habituated with that, are the questions that we are really working with, that we are growing too fast and too much and much more than the environment can stand of us, okay? And it makes us think about the way we live really in the world. And so the way we have, how we have to find a better way to live, not so full of things, but how can we change this mindset? That's a very hard thing because we was born in this consumption world, and how we change this mindset. Everything in our economy is written like that, and how we do that. That's the question. The second thing, I love this graphic. That's from Peter Diamandis. That's from Abundance. He say that we are growing exponentially, much different than the linear growth. We are growing exponentially, and that's very hard thing because we are not ready for this way of changing. Things are changing too fast, and we have to adapt it very fastly. And that's our challenge, the challenge of our society and our generation, the 21st century generation. Well, I like to think about that. That's from Transition Network. That's a movement that was born in England, and they say that we came from all these economies and now we are here. Electronic revolution, and then we are learning and growing with the information economy. How we are going to face this, all this. And there is interesting because we think about the difference between one and the other one. So the paradigm we used to live was this scarcity paradigm, so we don't have it. What create gains in our economy? Scarcity, because people want us to buy. So they say, oh, there are only 3 more or 2 more or 1 more, and then you say, oh my God, I need it. But you don't think you need it. You just think that, okay, there is one that's mine. All right? That's the thought we used to work with. Right? And so that's do not have for everyone, so I have to keep it, I have to take it and have to put more on me. We fear it to be small, we compete to stock, we withdraw with circulation, we raise prices, and we exclude people, right? That's a very excludent way of doing. And the other thing is that when we go to the abundance paradigm, or maybe I like to say that not abundance, but maybe the necessary paradigm. What's necessary for you? How much do you really need for? Okay? How much is enough for you? And not so much all the time and you don't think what you need. And this is the other paradigm that we have to try to change, to find a way to work with. There is for everybody. So there is for everybody. If everybody have enough, there is for everybody. And that's something that many people have said. And Diamandis say that in the abundance, and he show it, how it happens. So there will always have then. We can collaborate to create, not compete. So everybody will have. Don't worry about that. We increase the flow, and so we live in a better way. We are not always looking for something and have to arrive first and everything, so you have a better life. You downsize the costs, and there is very inclusive, because everybody has not that much, but everybody has enough. Okay? And that's what we used to think that. I don't know if you can see better, but just thinking that the old economy that we used to say that's we are based in ownership, and now this new economy that we are saying that we are learning is based in assets. Imagine that Airbnb don't have any hotel, but it's the biggest, the largest net of hotels in the world. No hotels. And we are thinking about hierarchy, and here we have networks. And it changed the way we communicate and the way we change and we share things in the world. Here we go with division of labor. So somebody has a factory or something like that, and then you divide the labor, okay? And here we have distribution of labor. So you have more local things, smaller and local things. The other thing is buy more and more. And here we have optimize resources. So we have to share things and share and buy only the necessary, okay? And here we have big companies, and here we have local economy. Small companies that used to move around on their own resilient local place. And here is based in disconnection and competition, and he is based in confidence and collaboration. That's a big difference. We are having a very big, in the world, we are having a very big crisis of confidence. And that's something very interesting, because it's the first thing we have to recover to go to this different economy. And this is another thing that changed a lot. We used to have the big one eating the small one, and they run into the other side. But now they're together, and so that's harder to dominate them. That's the network. That's what internet create. That was the connection of people create. And so we have to look to that. And it changes the way big companies are interacting with not all the stakeholders. So we used to say that we look for an economy that not only make a sustainable production, like not only make less damage to the planet, but an economy that regenerates the planet. You have to produce things that help to make a better planet. That's the economy I'm talking about, okay? So we call it Reconomia in Brazil. But it's a part of a big research that started in England with the Transition Network movement. That's a movement looking for solutions, collective solutions to work with the climate change, how we can interrupt the cycle and the peak oil and all this kind of thing, and especially the equity, the equity in groups and communities and cities. Okay, here is a Reconomia that's local, low carbon, and good for the planet, okay? This is the big side, that's the old research. If you got in this side, that's the Reconomy project. We have this research in 12 countries, different ones, and we are looking for this kind of companies and small business that are doing already this different way of doing business and of creating another environment for this new economy, okay? We have three specific parts of it. So the first one is the inspiring enterprises, that are different enterprises that create different things and different products that help the environment. The other is the economic enablers. That's example of projects that can support to help business as usual to become on this economy, or to help small businesses to be available, okay? And leadership projects. There are people that are going around, like me, going around and talking about that for people in everywhere. So maybe we can create and give you some inspiring to go and to go to this economy if you want, of course. Well, thinking about what is this reconomy, this regenerate economy. How is the economy a low carbon economy? So we have to spend less energy, right? Less consume, based in enough, low ecological footprint, and regenerate the planet with products that help to avoid the climate change. And looking for the social equity. And that's a very interesting thing. And there are many movements around the world that are helping to do this. And one of this is this, you know, the big company? Big companies are companies that certificate themselves to be good company to the world. And you have a very, very hard apply to do it, and you have to give thousands of documents and show everything you do to be good for the planet. And so they do it and they certificate you, okay? My company is a big company that we call 2.5, like it's the two sector, like the government and everything, and the third sector that are the two sector that the companies and everything, and the third sector that is the NGOs and all this non-profitable. Okay, so you have the 2.5 that's in the middle of it. It's profitable, but it works to a better world. It do it too. This is one of the companies in Brazil that's called Tem Açúcar. That's this girl. It's a very anxious model, and she studied sustainability in the same program I did. And she said that, well, if I can see who is around me and find who has the resources, we can share it. And how can we do it? So they make an app, you know, an applicative, where you put your address, and then you make your profile and everything, and then you know who is around you, and you ask for something. So you put there, oh, I need, I don't know, I need a computer, I need a ball, I need something that you are going to use for a time and then give back. So they can't borrow you that, and so you give back. And then the confidence is very important, because you are going to give them something they are going to use and give you back. And so you have the reputation that's back. So you have the stars that are the reputation. I used to say that the reputation is going to be something like money, you know, in this movement, okay? It's a very big one. Around my neighborhood, there is 191 people that use it. This is another one. There's Lohana Scarpioni. That's a very young girl. She was considered by MIT as one of the youngest entrepreneurs of the world. And she created what we call Believe. Do you know Believe? That's like collaboration is the new revolution. And they say that they exchange time like this. How to learn a language by yourself. So this man put 25 hours of experience. And then you do another thing, like I help you to build your own food garden. So she can exchange with him hours of work and different kind of things. And it was pretty well. This is another, it's a community-based group that's inside a favela. I don't know, are you familiar with that? Yeah? Okay. And these girls, they used to take the banner thing, these banners, and they make bags with that. So they get something that are going to be waste, and they bring back to the economy. And so they reuse it, all right? And they are really, really they're profitable. They are now getting 3 times more than before this small company. Airbnb, I like to show this because this Bruna Freitas has a very small apartment, and she joined BNB. And that's funny because they say that you don't have to have a big house, but if you have a place where you can receive somebody, and she used to say that, she's from São Paulo, and she used to say that it's one of the best experiences that she has is to receive people at home. So she can talk to them and know another cultures and receive these people and have really experiences. And this is another thing that we are looking for in this new economy, as are more than things. And this is another thing that I like it very much. It's from São Paulo too. It's called Free Clothes. This is a movement that proposes less consumption, looking in a more lovely way to the clothes. When I studied in Findhorn in Scotland, everything there has a name, like the the bags, the lights, like you say, the Bobby, the car is Bobby, and this chair is the Lenny, and I don't know, my computer is the Molly, and everything has name. Why? Because when you put name in something, you connect to it. And so it's more difficult to let it go. And that's the purpose. You connect to things. And so you take care of it. And you fix it. It's not anything. And that's something that they are doing with clothes. So they make big fairs around, and people exchange clothes. I have something that I don't like, and you like, so come here and let's exchange. We call exchange fairs. In Brazil, we have many of it, of many things. These are the girls that create this project, Free Clothes. And that's very interesting because we are seeing that some years ago, when I studied, I'm old, and so when I studied, there was interesting because you look for, you have to be like a doctor, you know, administrator, or lawyer. That was beautiful. Your grandpa and your grandma will get very happy about that. Well, so I have problems with that because I made my own job. So imagine I have to explain always when I'm, what do you do? When I say, oh, do you have 30 minutes? Because everything that was there wasn't, wasn't good for me, but that doesn't make me happy. And so I have to learn what makes me happy. And I think that's the big thought of this economy. What makes you happy? What makes you happy? Why don't you work with that? And so that's what we think about. That, I think, it's social innovation. That's innovative. That's think about. There is a knowledge, do you know what Knowledge Works? That's an institute that study education and the tendencies of it. He used to say that something like 60% of the, they don't call job positions anymore. They call of the works in the world are not already invented. So when you think about, I was talking to him, to my husband, about my children. I have twin girls, 7 years old. And then I asked, and he asked me, oh, do you think they are going to get in the university? Well, I don't know if there's going to be the university that they want to go. Maybe they want to do anything else. We don't know what's going on. And then we go back to the first graphic. Remember that? The exponential change? It's very fast. It's too fast. You're not habituated with that. How I look to this and understand it. So I have a friend of mine that used to say, that's from Finland, they used to say, if you're not understanding, you're right. That's it. Well, just telling you a little bit of what I invented as a job for me, okay? So you understand what's this. That's a small company. I used to work with communities and equity since I was 15. Now I'm 42, so that's a lot of time for me, for my life. So I used to work with them in many ways and different ones. And sometimes with children, sometimes with very low income families and small slums and well, many experience, different ones. And I used to say, people used to say that, oh my God, you're working with that? Come on, poor girl, she's not gonna go on. Poor girl, it's not gonna work. She will starve. And oh my God, his father has to give her money for all her life. And that's interesting because I used to say, well, if I study and I can find different ways to help these people and to do this kind of thing, and maybe change a little bit the way we think, maybe we can do something different and maybe create equity. And how to do that? That was what I think for all my life, how to create equity. And there is something interesting because before being on my own company, I worked with many other companies. I did business as master school here not here in California, but in Ohio. And when I went back, I said, whoa, I know how to do business in this world. So how can I help these people to do business in this world? Okay, so how can I use something that I know to look for something that I want to change in the world? And that's something when I say, oh, how can I change things that we want in the world with what you know, with your own vocation? And then I started a foundation inside a company that's called Alphaville Foundation. That's how I know Professor Gary. He went to Brazil to work with this company, and the foundation shown how they do things. Now they have now the foundation has 15 years, and 3 years ago I left it, and I made my own company to do some ways what foundation do, but it's a company. Doesn't make sense. Why not? Why not? People from the companies like to talk with other companies. Why I can't go ahead and have a good work and get money and in our society doing something that's great for the world? Why not? And that was interesting because 5 years ago we didn't know about this big company, this big movement, and now it happens. And so we think about something that's happening with other companies now. And that's what I'm telling you. Here we have 515 that are the best for the world companies. That's what? That are the big companies, the companies that are certificated in the whole world, and that had 10% best scores, because there is a score, like with governance, environment, employees, many points that you have to get to be a big company. So they took the 10% best companies, that best scores, and they are now awarding them, and they are 515. We are one of them. That's why I'm here. Well, thinking about how do we think about living together and influence the field, because we believe that it's not what you have, but in this new economy, it's how you influence your field and how you make it work. And the other thing, when people change, all around changes, because we are what move this economy. So we have to understand what do we want to change and change. The other thing is work and purpose. People are always looking much more. This young people that's coming, it's very interesting. We have, my husband has two boys that are of now 19 years, and they are on the university, and that's an administration one. And they are not thinking about work somewhere. They are thinking about be entrepreneur. What can I do? They are always thinking some different things and thinking, oh, how can I do something? How can I change things? And that's interesting because it's another way of thinking. Most of us, I include myself, we thought that maybe we can work in a big company. I worked for multinational and something like that. And that's what my dream, right? And so we are looking for that. How can I connect my work and purpose? What do I want to leave to the world? And collective creation. That's very interesting because when you create together, especially in communities or groups, what happens? You co-responsible. You create co-responsibility, you know? Everybody is responsible for the result, not only one or the other one. So you have more people working for it to go ahead, right? More people is working for it to be better and to get better. These are some things that we do. We create 4 methodologies. The first one is this one that we call Change Makers Program. That's like a small curriculum that you go inside the company and then you work with the employees and some people from the community, and you work with them how they can get to a social problem and how you look at it, how you see what is happening and how you intervene on it. How to do that. Because people used to say that to me, that, oh, I want to help, but I don't know how. Oh, I would love to do something, but I don't know how. So let's see how. And then we help them how to do that. And they choose the way they want to do that. The other one we call 3Ws, that's how you structure when you change inside a company, when you change the way they do something, and like we have a company that do ketchup, and then they used to buy tomatoes from Chile. That's very far from there. They're in Brazil. And we saw that around them, there are many agricultures, familiar agricultures, that could help them if they were well organized and sell to this company. It's less carbon because you don't have to take there. It's easier because it's around it. You can take care of it and see and help them if they need. And so we help to organize them for this company, and they sell a part of what they do, they grow to it. And so today, 30% of the tomatoes are coming from this agriculture group. What is that? What I believe that's that. The company wins, okay? My company win, the community win, and the system win. Because they change things in the system. They are doing it locally, right? You understand it? The other thing is, I studied in Gaia Education. That's a curriculum that's in Scotland that I told you that everything has names, you know. So I studied that. That's called Design for Sustainability. Is an UN recognized program. And we brought it to this favela. And we capacitate some leaderships from this community with this program. That was very interesting because it was the first time it was in a favela. Most of the time people go to Finhorn and to everywhere to get it. And then now they are for free. We got and put it inside favela. And what changed? Many things, because they learn how to intervene and how to work around them, how to change things they want to change. And so what happened? Most of them become have much more impact on their own society and on their projects. Just for you to understand, how is transition now? Transition is that movement I told you in the first, remember, in the beginning? That's for climate change, peak oil, that was started in Totnes near London, okay? And this movement that's thinking about this economy and this other way of living in the places, it's already in all these places. And it has only 6 years. That's very fast for a movement and be global. And this is the Gaia Education. These are all the places where it happens in the world. That's the curriculum I told you about sustainability and this design of a local place. And this is a little bit of this transition Brasilândia that I told you. And these are some buildings that we did there. On this movement, we think about that, how we can do to build with things that we have in our place. What do we have here that's disponible? So what can I do with these things, you know, here that can be useful? And these are the groups. That's something very interesting. That's create groups to face each question that you have. That's a very big place, so there are many groups that work with food security, here water and preservation. Water is a big question. And how revitalize public spaces and culture and art. This is exchange fair, solidarity economy. And this is the preservation of the environment on this place. Well, and from each one of it, there are many other groups, and they plan together. Once a month, they meet and plan together. And my last part is that, which are the challenges for business as usual? My company helped business as usual to make some changes, right? So the first thing is, understand that the world changed and confidence is a big issue. People connect very fast, and one person unhappy is really something to be worried about. Invest in advance to prevent conflicts and really be part of the solution. And that's something interesting, because many companies, I'm talking about Brazil, not about here, but they don't know how to work together with the communities. So they don't know how to exchange the information. And so they don't do it because they're afraid of it. They think that they are going to go there and talk to them, and they are going to ask something for them. And that's true, because community are not ready for that too. Everything is changing, and for everybody, right? So I like to tell you one case, just for you to understand that. A company there called us because they work with oil. They produce gasoline and all this, and they have and they call us. There is a big room with a big table and people around it, and the president and all the directors. That I was thinking about each hour, how much this costs that table, because it was 1 hour of that man was really a lot of money for the company, right? So they were there, sat there for 3 days and trying to think what you are going to do, because the fishermen were going to close the channel where the boats, the big boats of oil pass by to distribute. So 3 days stopped, all Brazil stopped, because most of the oil passed by this small channel in São Paulo coast, okay? And what's the problem? When they arrived there, they said, oh, they want money, they want indemnification, they made a protest in front of the company, they want to close the sea channel, they just want our money, and that's it. Like, who told you that? They told you that? And they said, no, but look, that's obvious. Like, for me, that's not that obvious, because you have to ask them. I said, oh, okay, do you want me to go there and ask them? Yeah, why not? I said, I can't do that. Well, I think it will keep us a lot of time, but okay. And then he said, okay, so what do you think we have to do? And I said, well, I think we have to go there and understand what's going on and what they really want. And then we went with a group and found and talked to them and wrote, and we made a diagnosis that we put, we used to georeference it in Google, you know, so you know where people is and everything. And that was the first thing. They said, oh my God, that's great. Look, we can see where they are. I said, yeah. What's this? How did you do that? That's Google Earth. And I said, but how did you put it? You put the address and then they put it in the place. That's a very easy thing, but they don't think this way. They don't think as an easy way. They just think that's complicated. And everything is complicated. Because we are not talking about complexity, because we know that we are in complex systems. We are talking about complicated, right? When you say that somebody has, you spend your energy thinking about what somebody's thinking, that's not a good choice for your time, right? Because you'll never know what she's thinking if I don't ask her, what are you thinking, right? And they said, that's only this, that I pay all this money for you to go there and do only this? Yeah, but you didn't, right? So we went there and talked to them. And what did we find there? First, this is a clone of fishermen preparing themselves to close the channel. They were very well organized. And they know what they want. They want them to listen to them. What happened there? The community was very sad because they had an oil leak on the sea. And they don't ask them to help with the solution of it. So people come from abroad with boats from many other cities, and they don't ask them that have boats there to help them or contract them to help them with that. They know all the coast. They could go there, okay, I can help you. And they get very sad about that because they said, whoa, look at that. This sea is ours too. We live of it. And you didn't ask us. We have the resources and you didn't use it. The other thing is the fish production is falling a lot. Not because of oil or because of anything of this, but because of climate change, because of many other things. That if you look to the production of fish 10 years ago and now, it's really, really, really lower. Because of many things. And they say, look, everything is, we don't have fish anymore, and it's your fault. So you show them. But if you go there and say, okay, here is the research, I will show you what's happening, and look. And then say, oh, that's a biggest problem. Yeah, I hope so, that were us. But it's not only that, right? So which was the strategy? First, restart, like reboot, you know? I told him, we have to reboot. And I said, reboot? Yeah, reboot the computer, you know? Turn it out and start again. So restart the relationship. So they create, and how can I show to them that I did it, that I'm different now? That's why I'm talking to you. So they create an area inside it. So we can keep on doing that to don't have any conflict anymore and not wait for the conflict to act, right? To be proactive. The other thing was get nearest the community and listen to them and co-create solutions. So they have people from the company that go to the community and co-create solutions, okay? And be transparent. That's something very funny that they said, okay, and what's the subject? How I go there and what's the speech? What should I, well, the truth. Which truth? Well, the truth. Well, how do you do things? What's happening? And there is something that's happening. What do you think that's it? And they said, well, we're going to go there and know that we don't know how to do that. Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing to do. Because sometimes when you show that you need something, it makes you get stronger. It's when vulnerability makes you stronger. Because you show something that people know you don't have, but you are hiding, right? I'm not hiding. So here it is. I have problems with that. Now I'm trying to, I apologize. I said, we're going to apologize. Well, yeah, what's the problem of apologize? And said, okay, what if it doesn't work? Well, we are here. So what if it works? Well, it gets better. Worse than it is, it's not going to be. So we go there. And then we started this work. Act as a partner of the community and not say that you are saving the world, you know. Companies used to think that they are saving the world, you know. Oh, I can do it because I'm saving this place, because I come here and give many jobs for you and everything. That's not what we are thinking about. Let's try. We are sharing the same territory. Okay, we are one part, and you have to take care of your part too. And say to the community, okay, you have to work with us, not only wait for that. So we ask for opportunities, we talk to people, meetings with each one of the colonies, understanding people and saying that we are changing the way we are doing and how they think we have to do it. So they told us how they think we have to do it. Start with the workforce, people that work for the company. How about telling them there are many people so they can go and be the ambassadors of the company around the community? Well, in total it was 40 meetings, and we found 17 opportunities of projects that they want to do and were available to do with the community. Well, these are some of them. The oyster farmers taking care of rebuilding their farms that were damaged by the leak, right? Them doing that. The company contract them to do that. They have many remote areas, and they brought some internet, because what they think that people that are inside these islands don't want to be fishermen anymore, because the families, you have to go away because it's not good to be here anymore. Okay, you have to go away and study, but why not come here and help this community that's your community? Why can't you see happiness around? And so we help them to put some computers and solar energy, because they don't have any energy there. And we start asking them to show what they do, to show how they were, more than just learn about the internet, but share what they know, you know? The community, the old people costumes and everything, right? So in 1 year, we got approval, the approval growth 20%. It's a lot. and show positive results, and people saying about very good speeches. Oh, we think that 70% has a positive vision of the company, and what we're doing, it's 1 year of work. So what did they do? This is a little bit of mediation of conflicts. Look all the number of conflicts and calls for their. And so what they did, they asked us to go around Brazil, all Brazil, and look for which conflicts they have all around. And so we started a two-year work. That's like this, São Paulo, and these are an invasion area. And these are the tubes, you know? How did you say it, Gary? The name of tubes, all right?
The pipeline?
The pipeline, yeah. The pipeline go around everywhere, so they have to take care of it, right? And so they start talking with people around it, because it's dangerous when you don't know what to do that. If you go there and you excavate and something like that, it can explode. So they were invading the area, and then we joined people around, and with the university and with all the NGOs of the area, they found a project for this area. So they asked to the company the land to do it, and it got a park around it. So you occupy in a good way this place, so the invasion stopped. If you don't occupy in a good way lands or something like that, especially in Brazil that have a big deficit of habitation, what happened? They go there and invade the area. It happens a lot. This is Amazon, and the pipeline got inside it. Today, it was not possible anymore because it was done in the military dictator. So anything is possible, you know? Well, and what happened? Here is the place where starts the indigenous land. And the indigenous don't let them get in to clean it. So imagine 4 years with big trees getting with the roots around the pipeline, you know. That could be a very, very big problem of them, a very big accident. And in 4 months, we started a strategy to talk to them and to go straight to them, because most of the time they were going by FUNAI, that's you know, the Brazilian, I don't know how to say that, foundation that take care of the indigenous people. I don't know if you have it here. But the indigenous people don't think they represent them, you know? That's a representative question. And that was the thing that we got. Okay, so talking to them, okay, we're not going to the FUNAI. We're going straight to them. And then we talked to the cacique, that's a woman. Well, they did many things and developed connections and helped them to build a school. They want a school inside it. This is another conflict. I'm getting to the end. And this is the street that go to the refinery, the oil refinery, and they close it because to protest. And they burn wheels. It happens a lot there. And these are indigenous people. And what happened? It's not about the company we work to, but the relationship was so good with this company that the indigenous people said, okay, we can talk, but we can ask the other company. They said, what? We just talked to this company, but it's not their problem. And said, okay, but we talk to them and they talk to you. Like, we talk to them and they help us to talk to you, okay? So, like intermediation, you know? So we helped them, and they were not honoring an agreement. And so we said, okay, we went there and talked to them, but now you have to honor your agreement, or they will keep staying on the road, right? So they went there and solved the conflict. And this is another way of working, that's how you join community to make solutions around them. They want a children park. And so they don't know how to do it. And what they have there, they join recyclable tires and wood and things they were there, and they made the playground with that. This other one was like in São Paulo, we are having a lot of food gardens being grown in city. And this is one of them. Well, in 2 years, we have 80% of conflict situations, in 3 years, sorry. What are our beliefs? We believe in a social change for a world with more equality, tolerance, and peace. Productive and resilient relationship based in partnership and confidence. In a systemic change that can guarantee a transition for a society more resilient and regenerative. In collaboration, sharing, and compassion, and more access to well-being. Here are more information if you want to know more things. We used to post a lot of things and stories and things that you can go on. That's it. Thank you for your time. Now you have questions? Be glad to answer.
I know there's a very big difference in the economic systems of the South and the North being more poor than the South.
Yeah.
So how are you mitigating that difference between the regions?
Well, most of them, as we work with the community brings different solutions, even there and or here. The solution for sometimes the same question here is not the same that we have in the South. But as we do it together, it works because people look there, okay, we made the solution, so now we are going to go on it. I think this is the big difference. And really, I think this is the strategy to move on with all this difference, because you're right, there are many Brazil everywhere, different ones. What do you think about that? All this, please.
I think, because I've spent some time in Brazil, and I think that it will be harder here to launch like this way of thinking and collaborative. I think the culture of Brazil, at least in my experience, was more conducive to this naturally, and so I think we have our work cut out for us.
Yeah, it's harder here, do you think?
I think so.
Maybe, yeah. You have transition here too, movement. Transition United States. And I think maybe we start smaller and then we grow. I believe in that, when we start smaller and then we start growing. And do you know Buckminster Fuller? That's a philosopher. And he used to say that you don't have to fight with the old. You have to create the new till the old get obsolete. And I believe in that. I believe in this concept. I think we have to create the new and wait for the old to get obsolete.
You mentioned doing one program with education in favela. Have you done much work with other favelas?
Yeah, now we are starting another one that's called Monte Azul. And we are systematizing the program so we can send to Gaia Education and they can spread out with another favela so more people can do it, you know, with that. We know that Chile want to do that, and because we changed it a little bit, because we have people that don't read, they don't write inside the program, so that's a little bit hard. So it's more practice and have more things to do than to only think about it. That's easier for them. Do you know Paulo Freire? That's an educator from Brazil. It's a very known one. And he used to say that you have to try something and you have to learn really. You have to make an experiment. You have to use it somewhere, like to make a lab, to do something. And so your body can incorporate this knowledge and not only your mind. So your body can do it. When you do something, your body learn things you think about.
Can you tell me who the impressive debate? Yeah. Who gives that certificate?
Oh, that's an institute from the United States called they call big company, and that's the name of it is the certification. If you go there, you put it big company, and that will show you that. And then you get inside of it, and then you put all your information, and you ask for your certification, and they will ask you lots of things. And they will call you and say, "Oh, are you sure about this information? Where did you took it from?" and all that. And so, but it's very interesting because it's something that you can trust. It's very hard to say it's sustainable. I think it's a word, I don't, my name is Oficina of Sustainability, and I don't like this word anymore, the sustainability word. I think that's regenerative is better, right? That's, I think it's more, because it's, anybody can say, what's sustainability? In which part of it, right? And this big company used to do in many parts, so you know what you are looking for, and so they can compare things. And that's what the best for the world do. They look for the same questions answered by all the companies, and they see who is better in the score. I think it's something that you can trust, right? I'm a dreamer, but not that much, right?
So I just have a question. It seems like a lot of the companies that have contracted with you have maybe contacted with you because they are trying to lessen conflict, right? So it's not necessarily that their mindset has changed, right? But they're still conflict oriented, but they figure if we hire you, maybe you can lower conflict, right? Do you see some companies after conflict is lower, then they're like, okay, we don't need to do that anymore, so they go back to business as usual? Or do you actually starting to see transformation in the way people are thinking about collaboration first, and not so much like conflict or no conflict?
I think that's very interesting, but I think our work is a little bit tricky because it's hard when you start to stop it. It's like when you start working with community and then you make a big thing and then you talk to them and then you stop. That's much worse than not starting. So they see that. But most of them, you know, you can learn by two times, by pain or by love, right? Most of companies learn by pain. And this is the way we get inside of it. They have conflicts, they have problems. Most of them call us because they are having problems. But then they learn there is a better way to do it. And so they keep on doing because it's financially good for them, most of them. And I think this is more or less the way. But there is a big crisis in Brazil, economical and political. But that's funny because we have a lot of work because of it. They're having lots of conflict. Well, learning by pain. And we're there to teach by pain.
How do companies find out about you?
How do they find out?
Yeah.
Most of them, because one talked to the other one. Like the president of one big company talked to another one. How do you solve that? Oh, I call a crazy girl that come here for live in São Paulo, and you go there. And then we talk to them, and most of them like this. I never did advertising because we are small, we're not big, a big company. And you don't want to be. We want to be small, like a bureau, you know?
I know that you want to be small, but you've talked about expanding to some other regions of Brazil. Are you interested in expanding outside of Brazil or linking with like-minded organizations outside of Brazil? I know B Corp is like a good way to start, but kind of the scaling aspect, I guess.
Yeah, I think we are together with a movement that's the transition movement that's all around the world. I think each place has to find his own solutions, but I believe that maybe we can help to. What are we? We are not a consultancy. We are an education company. Then we go there and we help these people to learn how to do that, and so we get out. This company, we left. The people that we trained stay there, but we left, right? So we leave the knowledge. And then you say, oh my God, so you lost what you sell? I don't think so. I think most of people that we work to, we left the knowledge and they still call us when they have bigger problems, you know? They know how to do, but when they have something more complicated, they call us again. And I think that's confidence, you know? They know what we do. So, okay, here, I think we are not ready for this one. It's too big for us. And that's what I believe. And I believe that maybe somebody from here want to open a company like this. I think it's interesting.
How involved are, like local governments in your sort of mediations? Because I think about this paradigm shift, and it's happening outside of policy and politics. And I'm just curious, kind of what the role of government you think could be or should be.
I don't believe in this kind of work in communities without the government. I think somebody from the government has to be there. Because even they don't know how to solve the question, even the community bringing the big solutions together, I believe that there is somebody that have to make it become apolitic, right? Because if it happens, things are not going to be this way. And that's what we call the systemic change. And that's, I think, it's a very, very big thing that you can do it, working with public policies. Think about how we can scale this kind of thing. And I don't believe, you know there is there is a cycle, I don't know if you know it, there is a cycle that's used to say that the innovation come and they grow and that you have to scale it, right? When you have to scale it, most of it appear the public and the government, because to scale something, the government is the best way to do it. But they have to be ready for that. And I don't believe, especially in Brazil, that our government is ready for that, that change that's not linear, that exponential change. And that's what made me feel a little bit, sad about how we are going to scale this kind of thing.
Can I follow up? Do you get elected officials involved, or do you go to ministries? Which government officials do you?
Okay, we used to go to the mayors first, and to see if it's. We study a little bit of what's the politics that they are already going on. In the diagnosis to the company, we bring it already. Which are they thinking about? Okay, they are thinking about this and this and this. Okay, so let's see which are their plans and how we can influence their plan, thinking a little bit different, like a little, very much bit different. But when you go there and you take something that they already do, they have already money to do it. So if you go there and, okay, you have money to do that, right? Don't do it this way, do it this way. I think this is something that's very interesting. And many times they look at that and say, okay, we really didn't know how to do it, but that's a good idea, And I believe that's something that you can do. Not say that, oh, you are wrong or you're right. No, the community is saying that. What do you think about it? I think that we are not in the world of or, or this or this. I think we are in the and the and world. This and this, and maybe another thing that's with all of this together, shake it and put it up. I think that's the case. We have to learn how to shake it and put it up.
Well, on that very positive, inspiring note, let's once again thank Monica for. Thank you. And as she kind of hinted at, the reason she's in the States is to receive an award for being in the top 10% of the B Corp list, and so she's going to be going to San Francisco in a couple of days to receive that. So, congratulations.
I'm going right now.